All right, re-entering longs on MNQ. Oh, I got stopped. Wow. Wow. Position is liquefied. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just blew another 25K eval, which is kind of crazy to say out loud because it's only $1,000 drawdown. You just size down, take your time and pass it. But here I am with another video about how I failed again. The same exact vid that I hate making over and over. And I can make this video talking about where I put my stop, where I entered, where I wanted to exit, the whole trade breakdown and analysis, but that kind of defeats the purpose if at the end of the day, I'm gonna just keep losing because I don't know how to change what I'm thinking. And looking back on the last 2 days of trading, which is quite literally how long it took to blow my account, only because there was a daily loss limit. So I could have blown it in one day, but I didn't, you know. Shout out Funded Next. I realized after the past 2 days that trading is really just jester maxing, and you really need to learn how to not jester max in order to actually be profitable in trading. And I feel like this is the main reason why traders keep blowing accounts. And unfortunately, I have the footage to prove it. And before we get any further, man, make sure to like the video. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that as well. We are on a road to 100 subs. And you don't want to be not subscribed before we hit 100, because then you won't be able to say that you were here before 100 subs. Then you'd have to wait till we get to 1,000. And you know what I'm saying? That's when you really want to get on the train. Let's get back into the video. For those of you who don't know, jester maxing is pretty much the idea or ideology of looking for someone's approval, validation, or performing in a way that's not authentic to yourself in order to be perceived in a light that is curated for someone else's approval. And the way this implements into trading is that once you see someone else's results, you kind of compare yourself, which ends up making you speed up the process, giving you a timeline collapse on some Doctor Strange shit where you think you need to make it now, you need to speed up the process, put on more size, which clouds your judgment, makes you not follow the process. That's going to even create the trader that builds those profits that you're seeing all over social media. And honestly, I realized that that is exactly what I'm doing with my trading. And I wanted to recognize it, acknowledge it, get rid of it, and tell y'all that this is not a game that you want to play at all. And I'm saying that because the art of jester maxing is contributing directly to the over trading, over leveraging, lack of patience, FOMO trading, revenge trading, all the things that affect the little details of following your process. You could have the best entries, exits, everything. But if you can't watch a candle print, and if you can't live with the results of taking a loss, aka you're jester maxing because you need to show people and look for approval and validate yourself as a trader, you're going to speed up that process. And you're absolutely cooked, my brother. I ain't gonna lie. And in comes the process of scaling too quickly and putting on size when you really don't need to, because you could just pass any of these evals in a couple of days if you were to just stay patient. And this showed up for me this week, just in the sense of me rushing the process, you know, not really giving myself a chance to actually be patient and take the whole week to pass this eval if I actually needed to. Scaled into NQ and then re-enter my position on ES. The move inside the 5-minute is what I needed to see. NQ is looking absolutely amazing. Definitely want to see this follow through. We got the inverse out of the 5-minute, another A+ inverse. We have draws on liquidity higher. We're in an uptrend. I do want to see all of this structure get respected here, and we do get a decent push higher. For ES, back up to these highs, and then NQ back up to previous New York highs, where I'm going to keep holding because we do have the possibility and likelihood to go higher from that as well. And you could see the exact moment in my live trade when I actually decided, screw the process, let me try and get as most out of this trade as possible. And while yes, I disguise the actual intention of putting on size as this is according to my setup, you know, this is high probability. And yes, while those may be true, in all reality, it's just me telling myself that in order to mask the underlying reality that I'm just trying to pass this eval quicker just because there's no consistency in the eval. Given the account size that I had at the time, I should have been asking myself, can I afford to even take this loss if price decides to go against me? And it did. Yeah, I mean, it does look like we are about to go lower though. So if anything, this is probably just gonna be a little small loss. Yeah, we got, damn, what kind of slippage is that? What kind of slippage is that? Like, what the fuck? How did I lose 430 bucks? How did I lose $430, gang? Let's get out of this position though. How did I lose 430? That shit said 200. All right, so we're down 443 on a trade we were up about $500 on. And specifically on Thursday, the problem wasn't necessarily reaching the goal. For me, it was how fast am I going to get there? Because I've passed evals before. I've gotten paid from the markets before. I've done the things that you want to do as a profitable trader before. So my monkey brain tells me, let's speed up the process. Let's get to this next stage as quick as possible. And that ends up clouding the whole process minded part, which just leads to the over leveraged loss and, you know, the revenge trade and the FOMO trade after. And just like that, the account's gone. All right. Re-entering longs on MNQ. Oh, I got stopped. Wow. Wow, position is liquefied. Oh my gosh. Friday kind of tells the story of what jester maxing in trading actually looks like. Because not only do I follow my rules for the most part, I take a great trade, an A+ setup, I go into profit about 60 to 70 points, but because I didn't hit the dollar amount that I wanted and I wasn't risking a lot of size for the trade setup that I took to be worth it, I ended up blowing the account off of an A+ setup. And you can see, like, it's not even me revenge trading, YOLO trading, you know, FOMO trading, any of these different like bad habits. My leverage is so high and my patience is so low that I wasn't okay with taking profits, 60 points in a profit, you know, taking a base hit and potentially going break even and just getting off for the day. I wasn't okay with that. I wanted to make all the money back plus some, just so then I could come onto YouTube, make a video about it, and try and brag to you guys about how much I made today. Even though I'm thinking I can't even do that if the trades aren't actually hitting. And if the trades aren't hitting because I'm blowing my accounts, it's a sign that I'm not as good as a trader as I think I am, which is just the whole jester maxing thing exemplified in the first place. And I want you to imagine that mindset going into every day on the charts, thinking, I need to get this win. I want to get a win for the YouTube. I want to show you guys that I'm actually a good trader, instead of just trying to follow my rules day in, day out. Instead of jester maxing for y'all, jester maxing for an audience, I should have been not caring. I should have been a nonchalant dreadhead for real, and just stuck to my rules, got on, got off, stayed with relatively low size, and took my time, which, you know, I have a problem with doing apparently. I wanted the result more than I wanted to follow the process. And I've shown myself probably hundreds of times already that the more I do that, the less results I actually get. So I think I'm just going insane at this point. Like, for real, like dead ass, I might just be going insane, doing the same thing over and over, expecting something else to change. And I think this is where comparison actually becomes pretty dangerous for most traders, because you see everyone posting their profits. They're trading 6-figure live accounts. They're making 50K days. They're taking 50K withdrawals from prop firms. They're taking max payouts. They're doing everything that you wish that you could be doing. And you're thinking, they're younger than me. They're, you know, they're probably not as smart as me. You know, you're playing that comparison game, and then you end up trying to catch up, but you've never seen the amount of losses they took. You don't know how long it took them to get to where they're at. You ignore all that because you're really wired to misjudge other people. And then you apply that same logic to yourself. And when you don't get the results, you keep pushing harder and harder at something where if you just pulled back, AKA you stop jester maxing, you stop looking for approval, you end up just sticking to your plan and everything works out in the end anyways. Just like a damn Disney Channel fairy tale. I'm trying to tell y'all, reality is so simple. And once you make that click and you put it together and implement the plan and just follow it with no regard or expectation, be outcome independent, that's when your life changes.